We're going to study the feet here. Okay, and the foot has components, and I'll bring the camera a little bit closer. Here are the toes. So what we see of our foot is kind of covered. This is covered in flesh, and this is what we see. Those are the toes. We see all of this is covered in flesh, and then we have the joints up here. So I'm going to bring it a little bit closer. And we're going to explore a little bit of this. First, there's three parts of the foot. What's called the forefoot, where there are the toes, and what are called the balls of the feet, which we'll go through a little bit more. We have what's called the midfoot, which are these bones in the middle. And then we have the rear foot, which is back here, the ankle part. Okay, so that you see. So there are 5 toes. The big toe has 2 bones and 1 joint. All the other toes have 3 little bones and 2 joints, and even the smallest toe has 3 little bones and 2 joints within it. Okay, and then we have the 5 long bones of the foot, and then we have 5 bones in the midfoot. It's called the cuneiform, first, second, third. And then that's in the first row. The second row is navicular, which is a long bone that connects from the first toe to the third toe. And then what's interesting, I want you to see here, is this cuboid, which is 2 rows long. It's as long as the first row and the second row. And it's a huge joint, huge bone right here. And then we have the rear foot, which allows for movement like that, up and down. It's made up of 2 bones. This is the tibia, and this is the fibula. So it allows for movement up like this. And then there's a bone underneath, which is right underneath that. This is the one that allows for movement. It's called the talus, and then it allows for this movement right here. Underneath the talus is the calcaneus, and that's the heel bone. And I'll show you that it's a huge bone. It goes from here, from the cuboid edge, all the way to here, and it goes underneath as well. So that's the top of the foot. So when you look at it from the bottom side, which is really exciting, I like to get excited. I get excited about the foot. The bottom of the foot, and you can feel it on, you're going to feel it on yourself too, is that here's the toe, and this is what's called the metatarsal. Okay, these are the long bones. What's important about it is that there's what's called the head of the metatarsal, or in common terms, it's called the ball of the foot. And each toe, this head of the metatarsal, it can be weight bearing. So in the big toe, it's really big, has fat pads. There's a second toe, it has that. Third, fourth, which we will focus on later in the lesson. And then the fifth. Okay? And I want to show you that these are important. The 4th toe is important because it responds to the ground. The first and the 4th and the heel make up a triangle, which allows for weight bearing. And I'm going to show you how the forces from the 4th metatarsal head goes through the body all the way up to the head. Give me a moment, and I'll take my computer here. And on this side, you can see that I put a tape on the 4th toe, and the ground forces come from the bottom, and the line of the force goes from 4th through the cuboid. Hope you can see that. Up the leg, through between the tibia and fibula, through the femur, up through the hip, through the spine, and all the way up to the head. Can you see that? I'm just going to bring in another angle here. Little bit. Let me just see it here. There's the line. There's the line up through the leg. So this fourth metatarsal is very important, and our lesson is going to explore it. So once again, fourth toe through the cuboid, up through between the fibula and tibia, femur into the hip joint, and up all the way to the head. Okay, and that's the anatomy lesson for now.